on Runway DFW. Live from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport in Texas, this is Runway DFW in color. Now, here is your host, Walt Zwerko.
Welcome to you from wherever you may be in the world. My name is Walt, and this is Runway DFW, as that kind gentleman just said. It's a clear morning, it's mild, it's 71 degrees, a bit breezy, and we're ready to bring you some action from the world's second busiest airport. So thanks for hanging out with us this morning. It is Thursday, May 12th, 2022. And we'll be here with you till about 9 o'clock Central Time, so that's,
Tower, back home, just outside of the nation.
That's almost 3 hours, right? So welcome on in. I gotta turn down that scanner just a bit. Just a wee bit. Okay, so what have we for you on the agenda today? Well, you're looking at the central tower there, here at DFW Airport, which I am informed is no longer used as a control tower, but we got two others, so that's good. Unlock my tripod here. We've got over here at the UPS cargo area a Queen of the Skies 747, and it is being loaded and unloaded right now. Let's see if we can see which one. Also got a couple of MD-11s in the UPS yard. I'm starting to hear some interference. Sounds like Morse code. Maybe the scanner antenna that I have a little too close to our communications gear. So let me adjust that while we chat. We were last here on, I think it was Saturday morning. And we've lost our signal again, haven't we? Can you see us? There we go. Sorry about that. I must have knocked a cord there. Anyway, welcome on in. Let's see who's here. Vogelschaft coming to us from the continent. Hey, Walt, wish you a lot of planes for your stream today. Greetings from Berlin. Thomas. Thank you, Vogelschaft. Ms. Wolves 13, hello everyone. Andrew Golddog is saying hello from Australia, mate. Hello to you. It's late at night there, if I have my time zones correct. Wendy is saying good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, Wendy. John Walton, Next Generation Music from Manchester, England, but watching from Romania. I think that's a first for us. We've had people dialing in from the UK, and I don't know if we've ever had anybody from Romania at least checking in, so welcome to you, John Walton, Next Generation Music. Hello to you, Chris. We're saying good morning to everyone because there's nothing happening right now. I thought I would fire things up a little bit early today because we're approaching the longest day of the year. That'll be coming up in about a month. And so I thought I'd take advantage of these early hours, and sometimes some cargo flights come in before the passenger action really gets started, but I'm not having that luck this morning. So good morning to you, Chris. Tim Bell as well, lunchtime over there in the UK. Hello to you. Welcome to our stream. And Wendy offers up the wish that it will be a nice day for plane spotting here at DFW. We hope so. I'm in shirt sleeves this morning. It's, what did I say it was? 71 degrees, so it's just a little bit chilly without a shirt on. No, I don't. Sorry, without a jacket on. I have a shirt on. But I am looking at our long-range radar. I'm seeing the morning flight from Sao Paulo, Brazil. American Flight 962, that'll be a 787-9 Dreamliner. Now circling around, I suspect it's going to come in on the east side. So if there's nothing else to see over here, we'll flip our lens over to the east side of DFW to observe its glide path, if nothing else. There's the West Tower of DFW there in the background. And you can see next door to this Queen of the Sky is a Prince. MD-11. I did put up yesterday I finally put it up because the pictures had been taken last week when we were enjoying our visit to Austin. Once we got off the air, because we weren't getting a very good signal, I hung around for a bit, talked to Lady Dreamweaver, who's a fixture over at Airline Videos Live amongst the mods, and she mentioned that we were going to be having a DC-10 coming in, a FedEx DC-10, and there aren't too many of those around, so I hung around for that and got a nice shot of it coming in with the Texas Capitol skyline behind it. And so I put that up as a 4K extra on our page. And we were talking again about the 777 Quick Trip Air International flight, which came in on Saturday morning and then left on Saturday morning. It did not show up on any of my radars, and I haven't been able to figure out where it was coming from or where it was going, but we did have a comment attached to the separate video I made about that event from someone who claims to have had a friend who was aboard that flight. So I'm pressing that person for more information. And I also did fire off a note to the public relations person at Quick Trip, which is a regional Tulsa, Oklahoma based convenience store chain, asking what is the deal with Quick Trip International Air, or Air International. That is an A321 there you're looking at. It's American Airlines Flight 1702. It is scooting across, it will be scooting across the bridge over International Parkway, headed over to the runways on the east side of the airport. So we will not be able to watch its departure, unfortunately. And now I'm watching the flight from Sao Paulo circle around on the radar. It's still a couple minutes away, but looks like we'll be able to, it looks like it's angling towards the west side, which is where we are overlooking. And for those of you who haven't been hanging around Runway DFW a lot, DFW Airport has 7 runways, second busiest airport in the world, and 3 of the runways are here on the west side. The primary runways run north and south, and as we look at them today, they're 18 right and 18 left. 18 left for the departures, 18 right, which is closest to us, for the arrivals. And over on the east side, there are 3 parallel runways, 17 right, 17 left, and 17 center. And so there's the potential for more activity over there, but we don't have a really good viewing spot for that side, at least not yet. So that's the rundown. And now we're going to take a look at this flight coming in from Sao Paulo. And that's going to be followed by a DHL 767 coming in from Cincinnati. And if we look carefully over here in the northern sky, I think we'll see both of them, at least as far as their lights go. You see the American Airlines 962 coming in from Sao Paulo in the foreground, or to the right in the center of your screen, and to the left of it is that flight coming in from Cincinnati. It's a DHL operated by, it says here, Amerijet International. So as the wind roars, let us take a look at this, and I'll shut up for a while and you can enjoy some airplane action here at DFW International Airport on Runway DFW. have a feeling that the sun is going to be a little bit of an issue as we go through the morning here. And it's just coming up now. Let's take a look. As we await the arrival of this DHL jet, we'll see the sun coming up over the horizon. Here in North Texas. File that one away for the postcard department. Okay, time to look at this 767 DHL cargo jet. Now on final approach from Cincinnati. And that plane will amble on over to the right hand, or make a right hand turn as it gets to the end of its travels. JH liking that one. I see lots of our regulars in the chat room enjoying each other's company. Here comes a Martinair. Little bitty cargo plane which comes on out of the UPS complex. We usually see several of these in the morning hours, making cargo runs to smaller Texas communities or regional communities. And that, my friends, is the sign that we're going to have a nice warm day here in North Texas. Ed is saying hello from Wilmington, North Carolina. Welcome to you, Ed. And our friend Deborah Klein is wishing all of us a good morning. Good morning to you, Deborah. Waiting for some planes to come in. We have over there on the east side, first of all, a American Eagle flight coming in from Chattanooga. There it is. It's an Embraer 175. And behind it is going to be a UPS 757 coming in from Tulsa. Neither of which will be able to follow all the way down as buildings get in the way. They're over there on the east side of the facility. Now let's see if we can pick out that UPS flight out of the sky. Again, this is coming in on the east side of DFW.
Yeah, I could. 32. Change to clear visual approach, runway 17 right short, and our clear flying 1160. We'll take 17 right short and show 50. Then I got a way to fix that. That it is. CR J900 has a faster speed than a 76, or 75, sorry, approach speed. So if they don't have a new 170 Jiffy flying behind one of those, it's probably a good idea. Oh, I know that, but they don't. That's why I'm moving you over. It's your discretion if you want for the rest of it.
Well, we got ourselves a UPS Eclipse there, didn't we? That was kind of nice. Thank you, Bill. That was fun to watch. So we'll be on the lookout and thank you for that comment, Chris. We'll be on the lookout for that UPS flight as it trucks on over to this side of the facility. So we're focusing over on the east side arrivals because nothing is happening over here, and I think I know the reason now. Because if we'll cast a glance over to the west side here, we see the distinctive strobe lights of the ground operations team checking over the runway, making sure that everything is up to snuff. So that is the reason for that. We've got another UPS flight coming in, and normally most of the time the UPS flights come in over on this side because their facility is here, but this is an A300 coming in from Houston, which is going to make the scene over on the east side of DFW. So, okay, I've got to temporarily abandon my commentary for a moment. Sorry about that. On account of I've got to make a phone call, or answer a phone call. So enjoy this small interlude as we take the opportunity to remind you that you can make a contribution to us here at Runway DFW.
Like what you see? Buy us a cup of coffee or help with streaming expenses by leaving a tip at streamlabs.com/runwaydfw.
Well, I apologize for that extended interlude. I had to make a quick phone call. And I will take down that blatant promotional announcement now. But I hope you will visit streamlabs.com/runwaydfw. What the heck? That helps us with our streaming expenses. We did some traveling last week to Austin. Someone's got to pay the hotel bill. Well, it's me, actually. but this channel is brought to you by you. So if you would like to help us out, we would most appreciate it. It's free. It's free to access. We don't have any levels or memberships or anything like that, but we do so welcome your participation in the success of Runway DFW. Thank you in advance. And if you're just tuning in, you want to subscribe to our channel, that is totally free on YouTube. Just hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you know when we're going to go live or we have some new content for you. Alrighty. We've got the morning flight coming in from Maui, American Airlines morning flight coming in from Maui, but it's coming in on the diagonal runway here on the west side. So we're not going to get to see it landing. I think the ground operations team is wrapping up its runway inspection mission here on the west side, so we should see activity ramping up over here. This is the UPS A300 coming in from Tulsa. Now I'm going to find a place to tuck itself away. JH is reporting some buffering, and I do see our signal dropping a little bit. When I first got here, it looked a little marginal, and then it kind of beefed itself up there. So we'll see what happens. Good morning to all from Victor Beasley. Good morning to you, Victor. We welcome you on in to our little DFW shindig. This is this is the A300. Is coming across the bridge from Houston Intercontinental. What we saw a little earlier was the 757 from Tulsa. We see a lot of American and American Eagle aircraft here at DFW. Of course, this is the home base of American, and between those two related airlines, they've got right about 90% of the passenger traffic here. But cargo, we've got lots of UPS planes coming in and out. FedEx operates out of the other side of the airport. We don't see as many of their aircraft on this side, but there's certainly a big presence there, and we get to see a multitude of international cargo planes, Atlas Air, China Airlines Cargo, Korean Air Cargo, Nippon Air Cargo, and one that I still haven't seen yet, and that's not even all of them. Silkway West. They fly a 747 in and out of here once a week. Never seems to be in the vicinity when I'm in the vicinity, but we'll catch it one of these days. And so 18 left is open again for departures. This Martinair cargo flight is headed out on runway DFW. And that YNU here, there is the A300. Now approaching its parking space. It's a jaunt of less than an hour from Houston. That's a 20-year-old jet dating back to 2002. And meanwhile, what's up with the 747? It's still got its cargo door open here on this side. Don't see anything going into or out of it. As I recall, this plane should take off back to Louisville before 9 o'clock. Guess we'll find out. Here's an American Airlines A321 basking in the morning sun as it heads back to the terminal area from the American Airlines hangar facility here on the west side. What adventures will it have today? Okay, we don't have anything taking off from this side, but we do have American Eagle Flight 3582 coming in from Del Rio, Texas. Took off a little less than an hour ago. We'll be looking at an Embraer 145. Boy, it's still way out there. Well, while we wait for its arrival, we'll share with you our surroundings. This is Dfw Founders Plaza, which is provided by the airport itself as a place for plane spotters like me and anybody to hang out and watch the aircraft come and go. If we spin around a little bit more, see, there's a picnic table. We've got a kind of a canopy which provides a little bit of shelter, plus the flags that of Fort Worth, Dallas, Texas, and the US of A, which always give us an indication of where the wind is coming from and how blustery it is. And you can see today they're snapping pretty smartly in the wind. Wind coming in almost directly from the south, which is the prevailing wind here at DFW. Jumbo Plane Spotting says, "Hey, what is up? I wish I could spot all day long like you." Well, unfortunately, I can't spot all day long. I've got to break off right around 9 o'clock to make the scene for my paying job. I'm an internet journalist with a minor extra-metropolitan television station. But I love to do this. I love to bring these pictures to you, and if you can't be here, what better way to serve the aviation enthusiast community but to provide you with some pictures of airplanes landing and taking off. Do we have a lull in the action now? We have a little bit of a lull in the action, so it's time for a new feature here on Runway DFW. We like to call it As the Propeller Turns. Audio engineer was a little late with that music. Well, on our last episode of As the Propeller Turns, well, actually on our last episode of Runway DFW, we were called away rather suddenly after I had word from Mrs. Runway DFW that one of our two horses, called Rain, was having some, what appeared to be some stress. He was kind of lethargic and he needed some attention, so I had to pack it up, or I chose to pack up, and I went back home, which is about an hour away, and attended to Rain to make sure that he was going to be doing all right. So I got back home and I walked Rain around, and finally he was fine. And so I know that a lot of you were wishing well for our little horsey, and he was fine. And so I'm happy to report that as the propeller turns, Rain is fine. Stay with us for more of As the Propeller Turns on Runway DFW. Well, that was a little much, but... And is that what we were expecting to see? No. Oh, I've got the wrong scene here. Hold on a second. There we go. Okay. Alright, well, we've got action back here. Stuff is coming in. We've got... Oh, we're going to have a takeoff here. Coming in from Waco. And this is a trip of less than a half hour. is American Eagle Flight 3512. It's an Embraer 145 LR. And it's making its way to runway 18 left. Meanwhile, at the top of runway 18 left, or this one's coming into runway 18 right. At runway 18 left, we have Alaska Airlines Flight 287, which is headed out to Seattle. Over to the Alaska Airlines plane, which is awaiting its turn. This is a 737 -990ER. I don't believe Alaska has any Dreamliners. And that behind it there, you'll see some buildings in the distance. That's the skyline of Dallas, Texas. As I said earlier, as the sun goes up, things are going to get a little bit backlit here. That in the foreground was a flight coming in from Omaha on American Airlines. Okay, back to some top-notch regional action coming in from Killeen in Texas. American Eagle Flight 3043, operated by SkyWest Airlines. Coming on in for an approach on runway 18 right. couple more regional flights coming in now. The first of which will be American Eagle Flight 3188. Arriving from San Angelo, Texas. A little longer flight of 41 minutes. This will be a CRJ 701ER. And right behind it will be American Eagle Flight 3706 from Stillwater, Oklahoma, a 43-minute flight. That'll be an Embraer 145 LR. I've said this before, but I'm so glad that the modern camera sensors don't get burn in when you aim them at the sun, which used to be the case with the sun or any bright light. If you look at old TV shows that were videotaped with cameras that utilized tubes as their pickup device, you would see the streaking associated with bright lights. Although I did, who was it that was saying this? Well, first of all, this is American Airlines Flight 524 headed out to Los Angeles in A321. Anyway, I think it was the gents over at Airliners Live from Manchester in England, and one of them was saying that they had a camera, I think it was a Sony camera, ruined when they were filming an event which involved lasers, and the laser beam was captured directly, I guess, by the sensor, and it just blew out the sensor. And I had never heard about that before. So if you got a Sony camera, or I guess any camera, keep it away from lasers. If you're teasing your cat with a laser beam, try to film it with your camera. We've got a UPS A300 lighting up the radar from its cargo facility just to the south of us, so we should be seeing that in action soon. Not saying where it's going quite yet. In the meanwhile, coming in from Lawton, Oklahoma, it's American Eagle Flight 3102, CRJ 700, for your regional viewing pleasure on Runway DFW. Still 71 degrees here at the big airport on this Thursday morning. Here comes American Airlines Flight 2872. Where is it going? Well, this Boeing 737-800 is off to Santa Ana, California, in the Los Angeles area. It's the John Wayne, is it International Airport? John Wayne Airport, anyway. Been to LAX, never been to Santa Ana. Called them with an observation. Those regional flights remind me of the sports cars of planes. That's one way of looking at it. They do have a little more oomph than the bigger one, the bigger jets. Speaking of regional jets, here comes American Eagle Flight 3500 from Garden City. I looked that up once, Garden City, and I can't remember what state it's from. Seems like it should be someplace like Iowa or Nebraska, I don't know. I see that almost every morning that I'm here, and I haven't yet filed that information away. This is the flight to LAX. No, sorry. This is the one to Santa Ana, sorry. So many airports, so little time. I was just here at DFW Airport on Tuesday morning, very early Tuesday morning, pre-sunrise. Got here actually before 5 a.m. to take my son to the airport, where he was regrettably having to leave us. Not regrettably for him, but for us. He was on his way to Seoul. Here comes American Airlines Flight 1168 from Amarillo, Texas, out in the west part of the state. The Panhandle. This aircraft is headed to Los Cabos in Mexico. And off it goes. Flight 1576, 737-800. Got some more sports car regional action for you. Sounds like I might need a drink of water, huh? Alright, what do we got here? That didn't work, did it? It's coming in from Harlingen in Texas. It is American Eagle Flight 3042 on Runway DFW. Operated by SkyWest. Well, it's getting a little busier here. Let's check in on our Queen of the Skies, and we see that it is cargo door still open. Here comes a container. There's another one. Well, still a little bit away from taking to the skies, meanwhile. An A319. That was American 2768 coming in from McAllen, Texas after an hour and 13-minute flight. We have American Flight 431, which is making the big turn on 18 left. This A321 is headed to Phoenix. Now arriving from El Paso, American Eagle Flight 5820, CRJ 900. Making its presence known. The viewing is still pretty clear all the way down to the far end of the runway, the south end of the runway as we look at it there. One of the problems with filming here at a place like this is the ground haze which you get, kind of like gives you that oasis look. That's a rare west side arrival for a flight coming in from Boston. It's American Flight 2823, an A321. You see a Delta flight coming over the bridge. I believe this one's headed to Minneapolis, St. Paul. So it's making the long taxi from Terminal E, which is all the way on the southeast side of the airport. We're on the northwest side, and that's where this will be taking off from this morning. It's going to make a turn. Meanwhile, we've got a One World livery 777 American Airlines jet. This one's headed over to the terminal area from the AA hangar area on this side of the airport. So there you go, our first special livery of the day, even though we don't know yet where it's going. And as a regional flight from Brownsville comes in, American Eagle 3135. We'll stay glued to this Delta aircraft. It's an A319. Again, we have reason to believe it's headed to Minneapolis, St. Paul. Flight 3135. So we'll add this to our airlines other than American and American Eagle list this morning. What have we seen so far? I think the only other non-American aircraft we've seen thus far has been Alaska if I'm not mistaken. And we should be seeing shortly a Spirit Airlines flight coming in right behind that, which will be headed to Las Vegas. There it is. Here's one of those coincidences as that plane lifts off the ground for Minneapolis St. Paul. This one comes in. This is American Airlines flight 952. So Twin Cities, we've got you covered, coming and going here on Runway DFW. Now for this Spirit flight to Sin City, Spirit flight 207. Eileen Daniels just subscribed to our channel, as I see on our screen. Thank you, Eileen. Welcome on in. Glad to have you amongst us. And we should soon be seeing our first international airline of the morning, Japan Airlines. Flight to Narita Airport in Tokyo is lighting up on the radar. That'll be your 787 Dreamliner. And we should be seeing that one taxiing up to our position within the next few minutes. As that takes off, we've got another UPS flight arriving. And that heavy 767 is coming into us from Austin in Texas, the Texas capital. So howdy to you. So it's going to be getting crowded over there at UPS Central. However, we do see now that the Queen of the Skies is buttoned up, at least as far as the cargo door runs. I don't see any activity on the other side, so we may be lucky enough to see that one soaring into the Texas sky before we have to leave you this morning. Let's leave it right there. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to do a station identification for you here on the Runway DFW Broadcasting Network.
Live from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport in Texas, this is Runway DFW in color. Now, here is your host, Walt Zwerko.
And thank you, computer voice. Yes, I'm Walt, and we're here with you for another 90 minutes or so, something like that. It is Thursday, May 12th, 2022, just after about 7:35. It's not really just after 7:30, but we're glad to have you with us, wherever you may be around the world. We hope you will like and subscribe to our little channel here. Help us out with a tip at streamlabs.com/runwaydfw. And yeah, you won't get any bonuses or prizes or stickers or anything like that, but you will have our thanks for helping us to provide a service here from DFW Airport. And I tell this story all the time. I was so enamored by the major airport broadcasters that had been established, Big Jet TV and Airline Videos Live, and I thought there must be something like that at DFW Airport. Certainly there is. This is the world's second busiest airport. And I looked and I didn't see anybody doing it, so I thought, well, we are. Which not here we are. And there it is. What is it? It's another UPS aircraft. This one's an A310 from Palm Beach. So we'll follow along with this. Let's see if I'm lining up to take off. Behind me, a UPS 767, which is pulling into the facility behind me. Well, it's behind me right now because I'm pointing the camera north. To see cargoes coming in and going. A little variety for you here. Austin here at USC. Don't know what that's all about. But as we often say here, the big airports like this are essentially a city, so you can get car fires and accidents and all sorts of stuff like that. Our friend MJ Scanlon Photography is indicating that he and maybe you are seeing buffering. I'm seeing a solid signal at this end, but that doesn't help if it's not a solid signal at your end, and I am seeing very low bars here. So let's try to follow along with our Japan Airlines flight off to Narita. I hope you can see what's going on. This is Japan Airlines flight 6713 off to Narita in Tokyo. Liverpool fan 1967 is saying no buffering there. Well, results may vary, I guess. Dreamliner off to the land of the rising sun. Meanwhile, we have a pushback, a significant pushback. All hail the Queen. Runway DFW, not brought to you by UPS. Got some UPS traffic jam going on here as the flight from Palm Beach approaches on the left. .747 still going backwards as its tug is doing its job. Can we see it? Kind of obscured there. That's the A300. I think looks like it's kind of parked there. I guess maybe waiting for the Queen to emerge. What's going on in there, cockpit crew? Good morning to you. Smile, you're on Runway DFW. Well, now's the time. We've got to play our special music for the Queen. I think I hit the music a little too early. This is when it's supposed to be rolling forward into our shot. And it's not. Come on. Well, my timing was way off there, folks. But I think we can dispense with that for the time being. I don't know, maybe we'll play it again. Because oh, look at this. You see back there, there's a 757 UPS cargo. That's going out to Ontario in California. So I've got that one going out. We've got this A300 pulling in from Palm Beach. And we've got the 747, which soon, very soon, will be making its way to Louisville. Right here on Runway DFW. We got these guys stacking up over here. Okay, this is what I wanted to do before, okay? Let's see if it works this time. so much better when the plane is moving. Now we call that our Queen theme. Got to come up with one for the A380, which is coming July 1st from British Airways. And there's probably plenty of songs I can think of that would work for that, but to go with the A380, but we're limited by what we can play for you here due to copyright regulations. I will think of something. So it would appear there are no impediments to the takeoff of this big bird for Louisville. Always a treat to have a Queen as a part of our broadcast to you. But here comes a private plane. That's about as far as a Queen as you can get, or from a Queen, in terms of size. There's that flight to Palm Beach. No, that's the one to Ontario. Coming in from Midland, Texas is this American Eagle Flight 5757, CRJ 900. It has arrived, and now we're waiting for this 757 UPS flight off to Ontario, California. We did see at least one 757 when we were in Austin last week. But we don't see any passenger 757s here. At least I've never seen any since I've been doing this over the last 6 months. Didn't need much runway at all, did it? I think I've posed this question before, and I don't know what the answer is. Do the pilots of cargo planes, do they take off at a steeper angle because they don't have to worry about passengers? I don't know the answer to that. Rain was saying very early takeoff. Rob G says, with all these great live streams, I'm hiding more and more at work, LOL. Tell you what, Rob, see if you can work from home, because that's what I do, and yeah, it can be a little distracting. I get my work done, don't worry. George Ragsdale saying good morning, Walt, and good morning to you, George. Thank you for joining us on this morning stream from DFW. And our pal MJ Scanlon Photography saying something like that, Walt. It does seem like cargo jets go out at a steeper angle. Not all the time. Certainly with the tri-jets, the MD-11 and the MD-10, which we saw last week, they do tend to do that. They're in a kind of a sports car way. Hello. Oh, I put that one up already. Sorry. I was looking for this message from Andrew Widman. Hello. I work on the ramp at DFW. And hello, Andrew. Wherever you may be out there, or maybe you're not working right now, perhaps. But we're glad to have you with us. I'm sure you can provide us with some insight into what goes on out there. Rob G said the A380 stopped coming into Houston. The A380, of course, being the super jumbo Airbus jet. And Andrew just subscribed to Runway DFW. Thank you for doing that, Andrew. Glad to have you amongst our crowd as we are coming up on the 8 o'clock hour here. That means we've got 1 hour left of broadcasting. And enough chatter. We should be watching airplanes, right? Coming in from Corpus Christi is American Eagle Flight 4917, a CRJ 700, for your aviation enthusiast pleasure here on Runway DFW. And when I say Corpus Christi, I mean Corpus Christi, Texas, which is a city on the Texas Gulf Coast. Kind of midway, I would say, between Houston and the Mexican border. Well, for those of you who are just joining us, we will engage in our policy of station identification.
Live from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport in Texas, this is Runway DFW, in color. Now, here is your host, Walt Zwerko.
Howdy, everyone. We're happy to have you all with us. Thursday, May 12th, 2022. Almost midway through this fifth of the year. I'm live from the busiest report in the whole wide world. Here we got some info. I don't know if it's inside, but it's useful information from Susor. Lets us know that the MD-11 and the 757 take off pretty sharply because of their flaps set. MD-11 can do 1,000 a minute off the runway. The 757 is similar, but very negotiable. Oh, there you have some incident. Those ones come good. And Davis has a basic question, one which I'm sure a lot of people will ask, is if the airport for American Airlines. And there's nothing wrong with being new. You'll find lots of people in our chat room who are happy to answer your questions. Everybody, you know, a year ago at the time, I knew nothing operations at and learn as you go along. So yes, Robert, DFW is the home airport for American Airlines. American has its headquarters here, just the south of the airport in Fort Worth, and between it and American Eagle, which is its subsidiary. And I think we're losing our signal now. So if you can hear me, let me know. Yeah, we do have buffering. Rut row. I'm seeing it here. So 5G signal is very poor at the moment. So anyway, yes, American do control about pretty close to 90% of the passenger traffic at this airport. As you've seen, we've got a lot of cargo. We do have other airlines which are part of here. Our friend, they're saying it's choppy, but it should be better. And those things, they do. I think this tend to come and go, but at the airport gets clear. And as there are more passengers and there's also highways surrounding us, it seems as though the demand on our mobile internet seems to make our signal, tends to have an impact on our signal, I should say. So, we'll try to muddle through. Now I see our bars are back. getting windier. Maybe the wind has something to do with it, huh? Well, we'll persevere. We'll try to give you some more action here. Here's a flight coming in over on the east side from LaGuardia Airport in the New York City area. It's American Airlines Flight 1597, 737-800, which will disappear before our very eyes momentarily. Over yonder on the east side of the big airport. That looks to be coming in on 17 left, which is the farthest airport away from us, or farthest runway away from us. We've got American Airlines Flight 1595 coming in from Austin, where we were a little more than a week ago. And again, we thank the fine folks at Austin Bergstrom International Airport for being so accommodating to us. And I'd really like to go back there again. Maybe make it a regular feature here on Runway DFW. Not quite as busy there, but we do see more of a variety of airlines and some spectacular viewpoints as well. American Airlines Flight 127, which is headed to Seoul, South Korea. It's a 787-9 Dreamliner, and it's lit up the radar. It's over there somewhere at the international terminal. I don't think that's it. But anyway, it'll be coming out soon. And here I see something I haven't seen before. I thought I spotted these out of the corner of my eye a little while ago. 2 Sun Country planes, which I believe provide regional service here to DFW. I know we saw one in action, I believe it was on Saturday, maybe it was last week. But from a distance, when you see those, I always think, wait a minute, is Southwest Airlines making an entree to DFW Airport? Southwest Airlines, which is based in Dallas, not too far down the road, operates in this area exclusively from Dallas Love Field. Correspondingly, American Airlines, which has served Dallas Love Field in the past, of course, before operations moved to, or before DFW Airport opened 48 years ago, American Airlines operated out of Love Field. But these days, American does not fly into Love Field. I think it's just, if I remember right, it's just, aside from Southwest, it's just Delta and I want to say Alaska that fly into Love Field. And I'm kind of vamping here because there's nothing else happening right now. Hey, there's Vince. Vince, Las Vegas, top of the morning. Walt, top of the morning back to you, Vince. Thanks for joining us here. We're having some fun. MJ Scanlon Photography is letting us know that we can expect to see Japan Airlines flight, or Japan Airlines Dreamliner from Haneda in Tokyo, about 20 minutes from our location right now coming in. Sometimes those two Japan Airlines flights, depending on the timing, sometimes we'll see one coming and going almost immediately, or one going and then the other one coming in. But this morning they're a little more spaced apart. See one of the people movers way in the background there, transporting passengers between terminals here. Wow, it's quieted down, hasn't it? I expect, as we normally see, right before 9 o'clock when we leave, right as we approach the 9 o'clock hour, it's going to get real busy. But what can you do? Take a long distance shot here of a Delta flight 378 coming in from LaGuardia in New York. It's an Airbus A220. And there it is. You probably hear the wind is picking up now. So used to the wind blowing as we're standing here out on the prairie. It'd be nice to have a nice calm day, but at least we have good weather. Because of the backlighting, you can barely make out the Delta branding on this plane. It's more of a silhouette. We now greet American Eagle Flight 3687 coming in from Aguas Calientes in Mexico. An Embraer 175, of course. Still nothing going on up in our neck of the woods, so here's another Delta flight coming in from Atlanta. Yeah, it's about as much as that we can see. Okie doke. Our radar indicates that UPS A300 is preparing to be on the move. No word yet on definitely. The Dfw here. Coming in. Take a look at the array of flags here to give you some visual indication of the wind, aside from the audio indication from our microphone. And for those of you who are new to the channel, we are coming to you from a place called Dfw Founders Plaza, which is on the northwest side of the airport. There is no admission. You've got parking here, you've got some picnic benches, got a water fountain. No restroom, I'm afraid to say, but and we've even got this sculpture here, this sculpture garden of children frolicking as if they were flying through the skies themselves. And you'll see in our copy, if you last till the end of the broadcast, in our copyright at the end, we've got a picture of my 5.5-year-old grandson mimicking one of those poses in front of the statue. Action now. A319 action. Coming in from Silao, is American Flight 2263. I've looked up what that is. A magic test. I think I'd recognize by no name. I can't remember what it is. Get to thinking there's only American Airlines and American Eagle flights here. Here's proof that that's not the case with Delta Flight 2444. And that's your A320, and that's going to be off to Salt Lake City in the state of Utah. Smartly into takeoff position on runway 18 left. Get a cockpit view. Just barely. Still pretty far from where we are. As this one goes out, we've got American Airlines Flight 1076 coming in from Chihuahua in Mexico. There you see it. And now for another shameless plug portion of our broadcast day.
Like what you see? Buy us a cup of coffee or help with streaming expenses by leaving a tip at streamlabs.com/Runway DFW.
And I would like to express the thanks of Runway DFW to Raina Taylor, who provided us with a very nice tip this morning. Thank you, Raina. And if you would like to join her in helping us press on with more broadcasting live from airports here and around Texas, there's the address, streamlabs.com/Runway DFW. We thank you very much. And there's just a little reminder there at the bottom of your screen.
Tower, Southwest 623 on the visual to 13 left.
Tony McCall, this was a couple minutes ago, saying our video and audio are very jumpy. Well, that is something over which I have no control. We're putting out a solid signal, but sometimes it doesn't get to the other end, unfortunately. So bear with us. It usually is a transient thing, but we'll do our best. Here's American Airlines Flight 1114 coming in from Syracuse, New York. It's an A319. It's coming in over on the east side of DFW Airport. I think that's the first time I've ever spotted an incoming Syracuse flight. We've still got a UPS A300, which is going out soon, we think. In the meantime, from south of the border in San Luis Potosí, Mexico, it is American Airlines Flight 809, an A319, coming in on runway 18 right on runway DFW. So very good of you all to join us this morning. So as I said, just to the south of us is the UPS cargo hub here at DFW, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 planes that you can see there, and at least 2 more over to the right, which is not really in our viewing zone, but an A300 over there is lit up on the radar. I think it's, let's see, N143 UP, yeah, that's it. This one here is at least looking like we may see it go out. Don't know where to. And we've now got Japan Airlines Flight 12 on the radar. This is a Dreamliner coming in from Haneda Airport in Tokyo. And we'll look at it right after we see this American Airlines flight coming in from Querétaro in Mexico. And now we'll get a nice long look at this Dreamliner coming in from Japan. That's a 6-year-old Dreamliner. 787-9. So welcome to our airport. Not a very long journey at all to get over to International Terminal D. Another international flight now arriving. It's American Airlines 1034, 737-800, coming in from Guadalajara in sunny Mexico.
Just a photographer?
And we have next for your viewing pleasure, American Airlines Flight 537, coming in from El Paso in far west Texas. After a flight of an hour and 17 minutes. It's about as far away as you can get in Texas from here. It's even in a different time zone. It's in the Mountain Time Zone. Time 33. Got less than 30 minutes of broadcasting remaining. So I hope you'll stay with Runway DFW for this Thursday. It is down. And we've got in a couple of minutes another flight coming in from Monterrey, or from Mexico, from Monterrey. But in the meantime, we're going to divert our attention over here because we've got tri-jet action from UPS. It's an MD-11. It's on its way to Louisville, which is the primary hub for UPS cargo here in the USA. This one is, as you would expect, dating back to the 20th century, all the way back to 1994, 27 years ago. And we are the wind is blowing in our direction, and we're in a position where we can actually inhale the jet fuel from the exhaust on that big bird. Whenever we get to see one of these great old aircraft, it's always a reminder that we won't always get to see them. Let's steer away there for a second while we watch an American Airlines flight, the Dreamliner, taking off for Seoul in South Korea. I was saying earlier, my son, I said goodbye to my son who lives and works in Seoul, and he left here on Tuesday morning very early. He was going on on United Airlines though, by way of San Francisco. He had a pretty quick change of planes there at SFO, but he did make it. That flight was American 3733 coming in from Monterey. I'm sorry, American Eagle flight 3733. It's an Embraer 175. Yeah, we've got lots of south of the border action this morning, or at least during this period of time, because we've got a flight coming in from Mexico City momentarily. Right now, poised for takeoff on runway 18 left, is our second American Airlines flight to Los Angeles this morning. This is flight 2853 and A321. The sun rises in the sky. There's a lot of squinting involved in bringing you this broadcast, I must say. Here's the flight from Mexico City. It's American, can't see what it is. I blame the sun. So I think our MD-11 is on the move, or it's ready to be on the move. I can't tell. So we had a sample of quad jet action earlier this morning when a UPS 747 blasted off for Louisville, and now Trijet MD-11. This one also bound for Louisville. And sometimes these MD-11 flights are directed by the flight controllers over to the east side of DFW. So we'll see what happens here.
American 1038.
You'll be hearing a flight from Champaign-Urbana, Illinois, American Eagle 4073 in Embraer 145ER. But we're going to keep our eye on this here jet. We got a good look at the predecessor of this type of plane, the DC-10, which was later converted to an MD-10. And courtesy of information from MJ Scanlon Photography, the MD-10 was just an updated, it was kind of a refurbishment of the DC-10, which allowed it to operate as a two-person cockpit, eliminating the need for the flight engineer, which was part of the original design of the DC-10. And today, of course, all modern commercial aircraft have a two-person cockpit. So we've got about 15 minutes left to share planes with you this morning. Thank you if you've stuck with us for the whole thing. Coming in from Kansas City is American Flight 2487, passing through our viewfinder. And I'm going to say, based on the trajectory of this here aircraft, that it's headed over the bridge to the east side. We'll try to pick it up as it takes off. Maybe we'll see it lifting off from behind the terminal buildings over there. Right now, got American Airlines Flight 2759 and A321 now entering your viewfinder. And this one's on its way to San Antonio in Texas. Not too long of a journey, maybe about an hour or so up in the sky. Okay. No idea whatsoever where this A321 is coming from. The radar screen's not enlightening me as to that, as to the origination point. Alaska Airlines Flight 756 on its way to Seattle. I told you it gets really busy here right around 9 o'clock. And now glinting in the sun is American Airlines Flight 479, I believe. On its way to Los Cabos in Mexico. Certainly in the top 10 of tourist destinations for sun and fun from DFW. That plane we just saw was going to Corpus Christi in Texas, on the coast of the Gulf of Mexico. This is American Airlines Flight 2720, which will be winging its way to Tucson, Arizona. There's a flight coming in from Grand Island, Nebraska, I believe it is. Or is it North Dakota? Or is it South Dakota? Know your geography, Walt. It's Grand Island, nevertheless. And all sorts of planes are piling up here on the north end of runway 18 left. It's kind of like one of those fireworks shows where you see, you know, and then at the end it's all. World's second busiest airport, what can I say? Here's American Eagle Flight 3010 to Harlingen, Texas, which is way down in the southern part of the state. If I can pick it out from the glare, and I think maybe I've lost it. There it is. This is, of course, operated by SkyWest. This American Eagle regional jet's coming in from Baton Rouge in Louisiana. I missed that one. I have a scorecard and it's even hard to tell the players with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 planes lined up to go out. So we'll watch this. It's the A319, is it? Do I have that right? Headed to Silao in Mexico. Where's that one there? I've got another UPS flight that has come in. And here we've got a Dreamliner. Aloha! American Flight 102 coming in from Honolulu. And I'm glad it came in to see us over here. The earlier flight from Maui was directed over to the diagonal runway over here on the west side of the airport, which we didn't get to see the arrival of, because we can't see it. So we go off to Phoenix with American Airlines flight, the number of which has now been obscured from my view. Doesn't seem to be going too fast. Certainly not takeoff speed. Looks like it is pulling back. So that one either was waved off the takeoff or elected not to take off for whatever reason. That was American Flight 1553 to Phoenix. So a bit of a mystery there, but those things happen. We've seen that happen before. So I think we will leave you now at 8:58 Central Daylight Time. We're going to leave you with another UPS flight. This one is a 767 cargo headed to Boston, Massachusetts. And we regrettably have to end our broadcast so that I can get over to my real job where they pay me money. But if you would like to contribute to our bi-weekly shindig here and help us pay our streaming bills and coffee expenses, we would more than welcome your contributions to the success of Runway DFW, because this channel is brought to you by you. And the address for contributions to our, what I consider to be a worthy cause, is streamlabs.com/runwaydfw. It's easy. And check out our channel, Runway DFW, on YouTube for more stuff. We've got some 4K action with a DC-10/MD-10, which will be retired before the end of next year. And you know what? This one's not taking off. It's coming over here. Silly me. It's coming in from Boston. It's not going to Boston. So I messed up there. I will leave you with this shot of the MD-11, which we saw leaving the UPS terminal here. And it's on its way to Louisville. And we're on our way to a Starbucks so that I can do remote work until lunchtime. One final landing. American Flight 2193 from Tucson, Arizona. That's going to do it for us. Where am I pointing the camera to? Over here, I think. There we go. Well, it's always sad to go, but we must, alas, do that now on Runway DFW. Thank you for hanging out with us for today's broadcast. And something's not showing up here. Okay, stand by. Oh well. Anyway, this music is too mellow for me. Gotta play something a little more upbeat, don't you think? That's a little better. Okay, thanks you all for watching today. Don't forget to say what we always say. Happy contrails to you until we meet again. Should be in a couple of days, probably this weekend sometime if the weather holds out and we can do what we need to do. So thanks for watching Runway DFW, everyone. We'll see you soon. Thank you and goodbye.